Great, excellent. I'm so happy that everybody's done the homework except 3 people. Who would like to read his essay or presentation? Who did essay?
My essay is
You did essay? You want to read it?
Yeah.
Who wants to read the essay? You? Yeah.
Just small paragraph.
Just for something.
That's fantastic. I love it. Can somebody start these hardware engines?
Actually, we didn't learn too many last classes.
That's excellent. Don't worry. Just be here and can you read it? Okay, guys, let's listen to this. What's your name? Yes.
What
please.
did I learn today? I learned many things today, starting from using sound. Then the first thing is actually a course outcome and its ethical decision. There are another 5 outcomes, but we didn't learn too many. We just introduced. Also, the game we played helped me increasing this skill, the skill of decision making. Ethical decision. It helped us to make a decision, or maybe we change our mind in the future. Second and last thing was just intro into ITPB370 course, like what we are going to study throughout the syllabus. Just
Very nice.
I told you it's true.
No, it's good. It's good. But I wanted to focus on the experiment of the MIT model machine. Yeah. Did anybody focus on that? Okay, that's my bad. I didn't explain it correctly. No, I don't want it. Give it to me later.
I said about the machine, we kill more babies this one.
Oh, wait, would you like to explain what you learned about the MIT? What did you learn about the MIT model experiment? MIT model machine experiment. Anybody?
It only helps ethical skills and decision making.
What's the one thing you learned from that experiment? Yes.
People prefer his gender to life.
People prefer to save their own gender.
Yes.
But this is only in this country, because in any other country, the guys will save the girls.
You couldn't do anything.
Only one person here saved the girls. Who was it?
No, we wouldn't. If it's true, they will save the girl.
You don't watch
Just
Hollywood movies? Women and children first. No?
Yes, yes.
Well, what's wrong with you?
For the safety. Then.
But no, you saved yourself.
This is English, not in Arabic.
Okay, good. What else did you learn then? That's it? So I think the learning, yes?
Animal life doesn't matter. In
No,
every country, like
it's-
most people don't care about
For you, but in other countries, yes.
No, if you put your life at risk for an animal, like if it's you or the animal, you would rather put your life first.
Yeah, you'll be surprised. Okay, I think what you learn, the most important teaching is that morals depend on your gender, your country, your age. Does it make sense?
Yeah, we always kill old people.
And try to not kill the drivers. It's like
Which also depends on how you feel about.
because when we buy the car,
And
Yes? Go on.
and it depends if the
Wait, let him finish. What? Speak.
He was talking about the street rules, like if there's red sign and the driver is driving, so it's a mistake on the guy walking, not driving.
Yeah,
He
very
has to still make a decision.
correct. Okay, so I think number one thing, it depends. So you have biases, and that's the main thing. We don't know. We have biases. We know, like I'm racist, or I prefer pets. I prefer cats or dogs. You're biased because your experience, and then there are biases that you don't realize. So it's important, if you want to be ethical in your job, to at least be aware of that. Make sense?
Yes.
To check with other people, hey, what do you think about this? Am I being crazy, or make sense?
Yeah.
That's always a good thing. Okay, biases. All right, so today we'll start with the slides. I'm trying to show the slides here, but it's so complicated. Let's see. Magic. 1629. Could somebody lower the light a bit, maybe? Oh, bonus point for you. All right, fantastic.
From when we can find this?
From where can he find the slides? Yes. There's 2 slides there. There's the empty slides that you can use to fill it with your own words. These are the slides under student slides. Those are the ones you're supposed to use.
We're supposed to study here.
No, you're definitely discouraged to study from the slides.
Oh, it's not open.
It's not open book. There are several reasons why the exam will not be open book, but we can talk about this later. Okay, all good? You ready for this? Ready to take notes? Do you prefer full screen or like this? This is full screen. Let's see if it works. Oh no. Oh, it works? Yeah. Like this? Better? All right. Well, let's start with a philosophy quote. Can somebody read it?
A man without ethics is a wild beast loosed upon this world.
Oh la la. What does it mean? What does it mean?
He has no ethics.
Yes.
A man without ethics doesn't mean like he doesn't have feelings. Or I mean, if he doesn't think killing, he will not think an ethical way.
Yeah. What else? Somebody else has an opinion on this one?
Maybe he has no priority, suppose he just do what he's doing.
You saying that animals don't have ethics?
They do, but a man without ethics is like an animal.
So you're saying that what's the difference?
Like if
Yes.
he does anything, like there are no rules, no ethics. No.
Yeah. Anybody else has an opinion? Is he saying that the only difference between you
Not animal.
and an animal is that you have ethics? Is that what?
There's a big difference.
That's a big difference. Good. All right. And as we said, this chapter is the biggest chapter and the most important. Here you will learn about decision making and other important fundamental stuff. This is what you will learn. You will learn 5 things in this chapter. The first thing is, who wants to read this one? Yes.
What is ethics and why is it important to act according to code of
Yeah. What's the keyword here?
ethics?
Uh,
Code of
Yes, code of ethics. So you will learn what's a code of ethics, what's the role, and why is it important. Can somebody tell me why is it important? Yes.
we use it.
What, can you say your name before you speak?
My name is
Safe. Yeah.
We use it every day in work or
Class.
Yeah, and I use a chair every day, and that doesn't make it important. Yes.
Helps us have an effective and more useful life.
Effective and more useful. That's very deep. Very good. I like it. Anybody else? Guy with a brown abaya. What's your name? Yes.
What learning from the objective is how we can make the taking decisions,
Yes.
and that's also the animal lives is so important in this the society. That's all.
Yeah, what will happen to you if you don't act according to the code of ethics? Here, you have a code of ethics here?
Just
What's it called?
respect the doctor.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there are rules, ethics.
Yes, like no cheating, right?
No cheating.
What happens if you don't respect it?
Coming time.
We'll be punished.
Yeah.
Punished.
Right.
Bye bye.
And that's why it's important.
Yes.
Okay? Good. Number 2, who wants to read? Yes. Yes, number 2.
Why is business ethics becoming increasingly important?
Yes. What's a keyword?
Keywords.
Very good. So you will learn why business is not only about business, it's about ethics also. And if you want to survive as a business, as well as a person, you need to be ethical and make sure you are ethical. Not only want to be, but make sure of it. So you learn what's going on in that field. You will also learn this one. Who wants to read this one? Yeah.
What are organizations doing to improve their business ethics?
Yes.
Organization.
Yeah. I would say it's improve. Improve. So training. How can you train employees to be more ethical, to be better employees, for example?
Case study.
They don't do case studies. Usually, they do trainings, and so they train them. So if you train the employees, they become much better employees. So the employees usually are not bad because they want to be bad. They're bad because they don't know better. Yeah. Number 5. Yes, who wants to read this one? Yes. You move your eyebrow, so I thought it was you.
Why the organization is interested in fostering good business ethics?
Yeah, and so why this is
because it will help them with their business, like in such way, very ethical.
very good. It's profitable. It's good business. Excellent. 6. Yeah.
What approach can you take to ensure ethical decision making?
What's the keyword here?
Decision making.
Ensure.
Ethical.
Sure. Sure.
Interesting. We don't know yet. You want to make sure to guarantee that when you make a decision, that you follow an ethical decision-making process. So that afterwards, nobody can come to you and say, hey, Mohammed, why did you buy those laptops? Don't you see that they are made in China in a crazy factory where they employ children? You're fired. Or if you came to this class and you follow an ethical decision making, you can show, well, I follow these steps and I'm fine.
Can't say anything.
Well, at least you follow the.
Yeah.
You can show that you follow a process and it's logical, and you can defend your position. Does it make sense? And it will probably help you make better decisions. Number 7.
What trends have increased the risk of using information technology in an ethical manner?
Keyword.
Unethical manner.
I would say trends here. You will learn about trends affecting problems with morality, privacy, all that stuff. Did you follow what's happening with Facebook, privacy data, and all that stuff? The Snowden case, spying, and all that.
Selling information.
So the world is changing a lot. There's more technology. There's more technology in the firms. Your job. Look at you guys. There's laptops everywhere. So before there were no laptops, the ethical problems were more about involving papers, very good. But now it's more about involving emails. So this changes a lot of things. So you will learn why and how. All right, another quote. Who wants to read this one? You. What's your name? Khaled. Do you know who is Isaac Asimov? He's a science fiction writer, very cool. He has very good books. Go ahead.
Never let your sense of morals get way of doing what's right.
Wow, that's very deep. What does it mean?
Maybe your morals are
Wrong.
pushing you to the wrong side, but the rules are doing the right thing. Don't let your morals.
Very interesting. Yeah, something like that. Keep perspective. All right, so we'll start now with some keywords that you should know. These definitions are longer in the book, in the first page of the book. So it's really good if you read it. This is just to have a conversation here. Even in Wikipedia, there's very good conversation on definitions about this. So first thing, what is a moral code? Who wants to read? Yes. Name? Khaled. You are from Alain or from where are you from? Alain? Yes. Jimmy? What? Sarush? Okay, go on.
Moral code, set of rules, boundaries of generally accepted behavior. Different rules often have contradictions.
Great. So it's three things. It's a set of rules. And what people expect, which is normal or acceptable, yes? Do you know any famous moral code? Anybody? Any moral code that you know? Nothing? None? Yeah.
That's an example.
I'll give you an example from Hollywood. Let's see. Okay. You know the Ten Commandments from the Bible? No. Yes? No? Really, seriously, do you know the Bible? What's the Bible? It's a book. Okay, let's skip the Bible. It's a book.
It's a whole.
Commandments, Bible, Wiki. So this Bible, there's 10 rules, which is the moral code of Christianity or this religious faith. And it's called the Ten Commandments. Easy to memorize. And the Ten Commandments are these ones. Whoa. Some are common sense, like you shall have no other goods before me. I don't know. Oh, yeah. You all. Anyway, there's one very good one called "You will not kill." It's pretty good, no? The other one is "You will not commit adultery." Yeah, Google it. Google it later. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. So you will not say lies against your neighbor.
Respect your parents.
You shall not envy or try to get the property of your neighbor. You shall not try to steal your neighbor's possessions. And yeah, so that's it. Does it make sense? So that's one of the oldest moral codes. I think it's the most famous moral code. And there are other things. They made a movie also. You can watch it. It's called The Ten Commandments. Like this. This is like the Bible or something. And this is the commandment. You see the commandments here? So there's a story where they wrote it here, but then they broke something. It's really funny, I think. Maybe after you finish all your Netflix playlist, you can watch this one.
It's not ending.
Huh?
It's not ending.
Good. So the Ten Commandments, very famous movie if you want to learn about it. So that's an example of a moral code. Okay? It doesn't mean it's right or wrong. Just a code somebody made. Next one. What is morality? What do you think is morality?
Like ethics.
Very good. That's a really good answer, yeah? Who wants to read this one?
Social conventions about right and wrong.
Okay,
widely shared.
stop. What's a social convention? Like, how do you wear this hat you're wearing here? Sefat? Many people here wear a sefat.
Yes.
Is that a social convention?
Yes.
Yes. Why do you do it?
Tradition, we use it.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something. That's social convention. Right?
Yes.
Do you wear a dead cat in your head?
No.
No. That would be,
That's wrong.
I don't know wrong exactly, but it would be weird.
Yeah, also.
Okay. Definitely not widely shared, yes?
Maybe just a can.
Okay, and what else?
Form basis for established consent.
Meaning, accept whatever the majority of the people do that. Yes.
What does established consensus means?
What
Consensus.
consensus is like the majority agree on something. For example, you guys, everybody agree here that this is a whiteboard, right? But maybe we don't agree that this is a good way of teaching. Some people might think it's a good way of teaching. If it's 50% 50, there's no consensus. If 80% or 90% think it's a good way of teaching, you could say there's consensus. Does that make sense? So that's consensus. The funny thing about morality is that it changes depending on your age group. Yes? We saw an example the other day about how you compare to the global average in the MIT experiment, right? You are more biased towards saving men, whereas the global average is not, right? So it depends on your culture, on your experiences, on many things. And there's a famous experiment to show that. It's called the 5-monkey experiment. Have you heard about it? Do you want to see it?
Yes, sure.
Okay, good. Let's watch it. Are you ready? This is a very intense video. You need to pay a lot of attention. You ready?
Yes.
All right. Is there sound? Okay, there is sound. Hold on.
You have to focus on the
There's no sound.
We understand.
I understand.
Okay, tell me, what did you understand?
We didn't see anything.
Oh my god, I cannot put sound. Hold on, I will show it here. Wow, technology is really difficult.
The university makes it difficult.
I don't know what's the problem, but I'm totally locked out. Hold on. My laptop also is suffering. Very slow. You cannot see my laptop. Okay. Ah, no. Why is that? YouTube.com. Can you see my browser? No, you cannot see my browser.
What do you use?
No, because it's a window user and not a Blackboard user, but I can try that. No. I'm logged in as a teacher. Okay, that's the problem. No problem. We'll survive. I just need to kill PowerPoint. Let's see. Escape. Great. Now I just need to put this guy here. Now I put 5-month experiment. This guy here. In room laptop presentation. Wow.
Every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the...
All right, let's do this now.
A group of scientists placed 5 monkeys in a cage and in the middle a ladder with bananas on top. Every time a monkey went up the ladder, the scientists soaked the rest of the monkeys with cold water. After a while, every time a monkey went up the ladder, the others beat up the one on the ladder. After some time, no monkey dared go up the ladder, regardless of the temptation. Scientists then decided to substitute one of the monkeys. The first thing this new monkey did was go up the ladder. Immediately, the other monkeys beat him up. After several beatings, the new member learned not to climb the ladder, even though he never knew why. A second monkey was substituted, and the same occurred. The first monkey participated on the beating for the second monkey. The replacements repeated until what was left was a group of 5 monkeys that, even though never received a cold shower, continued to beat up any monkey who attempted to climb the ladder. If you asked the new group of monkeys why the beatings took place, the answer would probably be,
Well, I don't know. That's just how things are done around here.
Awesome. Okay. What's the story here?
So one monkey went up, and then for the bananas, and then the water came. They poured water, I think.
Yeah.
And then when the other, like one of the monkeys went up, they started beating him.
Because everybody gets a shower.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm.
So because of him, they get showered.
Mm.
So they stopped going up, and who gets up will be beaten. But the new monkeys didn't know about this.
Right.
So once they knew, they all followed the same rules.
Right. So what's the...
Because the society is like all of them doing the same thing, so he has to follow. Or
You're saying this is a metaphor for society rules or morality?
he said.
Okay, good. So there's 3 things you can learn from this video, right? First one is what? Why do rules emerge?
Because there are punishments in a specific society.
Very good. So when there's a rule in a society or a moral code or something, it's because there's a very strong reason. In this case, cold shower, right? So for every rule, there's a very good reason, or there was in the beginning. Second thing you can learn is what? After a while, you replace the monkeys and they follow a rule, but they don't know why.
They just do it.
So second thing, people are like, not people, people sometimes don't question why, right?
Yes. They just
Okay,
follow.
so people follow rules, sometimes they don't understand why. And third thing, what is it? That things change, right? So you can have a rule that is useful at some point, it becomes morality or ethics, or it becomes embedded in the society, but then the world changes. Maybe there are no more cold showers anymore, or no more bananas, but if somebody climbs the ladder, he will get beaten.
Yes. They had it as a result.
So the third thing you must learn is that things change, but morality always behind. Make sense?
Yes.
So that means you might have a society, most of the societies have rules that were very useful before, but because things change, they're not so useful now. Or they don't have a reason to be as they were before. Make sense? So these are 3 teachings of this video. Yes? Questions? Good. Let's continue. So morality might be affected by all these, and this video showcases also that it might be affected by life experiences, events, catastrophic events, many things. All right, so let's start with some more definitions. Ethics. There are many definitions of ethics. If you go to Wikipedia, you'll have a long list of contradictory definitions of different researchers. In this class, we will define it as this set of beliefs about. Okay, who can tell me what's a belief? You. Beer guy, what's your name? Rashid. Say something. Anything. Yes. Yeah, I'm talking. I'm watching you. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's different between person and another. Maybe someone believes this thing, doing this thing is right.
What's a belief? What's a belief?
Believe something.
What's a belief?
I think it's like, you know, the Quran, or Bible, let's go to the Bible.
To avoid problems. Let's not talk about the Bible or the Quran so much.
Okay.
What's a belief?
That you believe something without a proof.
Yes.
Yeah. You believe, for example, the tiger is faster than the lion, but the other guy thinks the lion is faster, but there is no proof. You have no proof. Just
Or need to know.
yeah. You just believe.
Yeah, like you believe Barca is better than Madrid. Yes.
Yes.
Which is a universal truth. Right. So yeah, let's believe, or you believe Apple products are better than Samsung. Maybe. Believe.
I believe I will get A in this course.
This is not even a
What's really for more general things? Okay. Oh, I love it. Wow. Bill Gates hunting. So it's a set of, so belief is something that you accept as true without questioning. Yes? So things about religion, mostly beliefs.
Yeah.
If you believe in science, which is also a belief.
Yeah.
It's beliefs that separated from right or wrong. You can have a belief and it's right or wrong when you think about it. So for example, in the universe there's no right or wrong. The laws of physics, there's nothing about right or wrong. Yes, it's humans when they think about things that right or wrong appears. Make sense? So religions are based on beliefs, and there's also a lot of people that say that they are not religious, but they also have their own religions. For example, there's people that say I'm not religious, but Apple is the best. Da, 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 da. They have their own religion also. That makes sense? Meaning a set of beliefs about what's right or wrong. Good. There's another thing you should know, virtues. So virtue is a habit which is regarded as good or correct by society. And the opposite is the vice. Oh my God, you are too early.
But he was with me.
Doing what? Doing what? Okay.
I was a computer kid.
Yes, very good, very good. And you have vices. And both you can compose a scheme of a moral scheme. Does this make sense? So you have labels in your head like this is a vice or this is a virtue based on your values. For example, arriving on time to class. Or arriving always late to class. Yeah? So there's another thing you should know, or a keyword, it's called integrity. So who can define integrity? Yes.
What was that?
Integrity, what is that?
Yeah.
That's fine. Anybody? What is integrity?
Integrity is like
Being smart.
Being smart? Yeah. No?
it's like, okay, I don't know, we discussed this in security course. It's like say
Yes.
you want to send a ciphertext,
Yes.
and in the way it is doing the right thing. It's not changed.
Something like that, yes.
Doing the right thing even when no one is watching.
Study the difference.
It's related.
50%.
It's doing
Because the quality of the
you could be integer and do the wrong thing all the. So it's not about right or wrong. It's about doing always the same. You can do the wrong thing all the time, but you are integer because you always do the same. Does it make sense?
Yes. We're doing always the same.
Here you have 3 sentences that will help you define integrity. Who wants to read them? Yeah.
People with integrity act in accordance with personal code of principles.
So you have some values, like the tablets of the Bible or something, or the student code
You
of
have to
ethics.
go with it.
The student code of ethics. Yeah. What else?
Extend to all some same respect and consideration to treat others as you would like to be treated. Like,
For example, give me an example.
respect the person you will be respected. Like,
Yeah, give me an example.
that's an example.
Like, yeah, I'm very ethical with me, but not with you. Okay, that's not integrity. And 3,
Apply same moral standards in all situations.
like I'm really moral and ethical, but this is an exception. That
There's
doesn't.
always an exception.
That's exactly. That doesn't work. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Can you have ethics without integrity? Can you be ethical without integrity?
So you have
Why
you be
not?
ethical and like just sometimes and sometimes not.
Yeah, sometimes not. Is that
That's
ethics?
the integrity.
It's not
Where it
ethical.
comes. We can't.
But integrity doesn't mean that you're ethical. Yes.
Maybe it's the bad thing. It's the
Very good. Great. So you can skip these 3. And then the typical question in the exam is the difference between morals, ethics, and laws. As we said, there are many conflicting definitions of what's moral, ethics, and laws. So here's one that we will use in the class, but in other papers or research on Wikipedia, you might find a different definition. In general, you should consider that morals and ethics are synonyms. Some researchers take the meaning of morals and ethics, and another researcher will swap them. Okay? So it's good you know that. And so when you have a discussion, just clarify what's morals in this discussion and what's ethics. So morals, for example, here is defined as one's personal beliefs about right and wrong. Okay? And ethics is a standard or code of behavior. Okay? That's the definition here. It doesn't matter. As long as you know the context. And then we have the law. What's the law? Yeah, what's the law?
So there are rules, set rules, and there are punishments.
A law is rules and punishments?
Yeah, because there are rules.
Okay. You? A set of rules and punishments. Anybody else?
Because if you don't follow the rule,
Yeah.
there's always something. So you make it up. The punishment.
Sure. Yeah. So it's yeah. It's a bit more than that, right? There's a system that enforces this, like courts and rights that you have and defendant rights and all that. But yeah.
So it's fair for everyone.
So there's a distinction here. What's legal is not always ethical, and what's ethical is not always legal. Okay? For example, you can do something, it's legal. Doesn't mean it's ethical. Yes? So we have society, we have the morals of the society, and then you have the law. And the law is always behind the reality, because the law is only changed every 10 years or
New rules or
right? They don't change it every day or every month, but the society changes and the morality of the society changes, right? And from one month to another or from 1 year to another, you don't notice, but after 10 years, it's like, whoa, like probably your grandma has very different ideas of what's moral, right?
Yes.
And very different ideas of what should be legal or not, right? And that arises because things change, but people don't change.
because they are living the old.
people don't change. Yeah, but society changes quite fast actually, and the political updating system of the law it's very slow. It was really good 300 years ago. It was good enough, but now things are changing so fast that the law is always behind. Okay, so it's good you know that. Yeah.
I have a question about the exam now. If I write the definition, not same like this definition. The exact thing.
In my exams, there's no copy-paste question, so I just will ask you a question like...
You'll explain it in this way, that's the same idea.
Yeah, you can explain it. Yes. How are you planning to explain this, though?
Like...
With an example with camels? What?
It's like a rule, I should follow it.
No, that's not a very good explanation.
I think the slides are very bad to study from, or aren't they good?
The slides are great.
But the book is better.
The book is better. The slides is just keywords here.
Give you an idea
I
what's
think there's so much memorization if I study from the slides. Wait, do you want me to understand it, or?
If I ask you, what's a law? So you should say, system of rules that tells us what we can do, we cannot. Because if you don't follow it, you will go to jail. Yeah? That's a good definition.
Can I just for my own definition?
Like what? What would that be?
It's the same. That's the idea.
You can put your own words as long as it's correct, the core.
Oh, okay.
If you say what I should do, what does it mean should?
Must.
Or must? You need to be very specific. Make sense? Every word has meaning, right?
Oh.
Does that make sense? If you don't feel confident of the definition of law, check the book what it says exactly, or the Wikipedia. Yes?
It's an electronic book only, yeah? There's no hard copy.
There's hard copy in the library, and the electronic, it's a PDF. Also, you can print it out. It's not a big deal. Does it make sense? But if you're not sure and you start putting words like should maybe follow the rules written somewhere, what do you mean maybe follow? Make sense?
But we don't memorize the blue ones, legal acts, law, these ones.
We just understand them so you can make your own.
We just understand the keyword definitions.
An act that is legal means that it follows the law or it doesn't step out of the law.
Yeah. It's another definition to law.
I mean,
Yeah. But I might ask you more question about, for example, what we just said. Are all legal acts ethical?
No.
Okay, good. You're good. Yeah. Make sense? I will not ask you, what's the definition of legal?
When you say-
No, don't worry about that. But I think it's really good if you go to the book and read the definition of law of the book, which is not one sentence, it's 3 paragraphs.
Oh,
It will tell you the history. It comes from the Roman Empire, where the Romans were the first people to have laws. So many of the laws you have come from the Roman days. And stuff like that. It's quite interesting. Make sense? So they don't always match, yeah? Legal acts or the law with moral, the moral of the
maybe it's
society.
ethical, but not legal. Legal.
Or the opposite.
Yeah. It's just
Most of the time they match.
Yeah.
Because we made it. It's not updated all the time as fast as we want. Or some part of the society
because it takes time. Maybe
doesn't
the
like
old people
how the law is now. Yeah. So maybe you heard about stuff like that. Yes? Good. For typical example is that divorce, I think, right? In this country, or some countries, women cannot, or in Saudi Arabia, women were not able to drive, right?
Yeah, now they can.
but now they changed it this year. I think.
But there are people that are against it, and there are
Okay.
people the society is changing.
Society has changed, and so and now there's not a lot of consensus.
Because
Yeah.
before they had no legal way to interact with
Mhm.
the license.
الحين القانون في السعودية أصلا موجودة نتعامل
في
But it's legal now, so they can fight for their rights.
بس أشياء أخلاقية.
That's right.
That's an example where yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a great example actually. Like some people think it's moral, some think people is not, and the law change. And then now some people are happy and some people are not, and before it was the opposite.
But it's changing.
Yeah, good or bad. In this class,
Depends on each person.
this class is not about saying this is good or bad. It's about
ID.
arguing why is it good, and also arguing why is it bad. Both sides. I'm not gonna grade you like for what you say, but how you say it. Does it make sense? In this class, you will never say this is good and this is bad. You will say this is moral or ethical because according to this, this. And it could be also considered not ethical because according to this. We're not interested in opinions in this class, but in how you argue or how opinions are argued. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And this will help in your life when you want to argue for something. Because if you can justify something, oh, because this and this and this, people will agree with you more. Make sense?
Yes.
Another metaphor, beautiful. Who wants to read this one? Yeah.
Civilized life floats in the sea of ethics.
What's the keyword? What's the keyword?
Civilized life.
Civilized, right?
Yes.
Means a society where people don't kill each other and it's happy and functioning well. So what does it mean?
Law is everywhere, so it's.
So the law will float over the ocean. So the ocean will be the ethics. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if the law sinks below the ethics, it's not good, right?
Yeah, it's together.
So together and floating, and maybe if the water goes up, the law goes up, right? So it's kind of falling.
Yeah.
You get it? The metaphor? Very good. In too much information. In this second part of the slides, we will learn about ethics in the business world. Would you say business are ethical or not ethical?
Ethical. Should be.
Should be, but are they?
No.
Who thinks no? Raise your hands.
It's not in all.
Black and white, grayscale, 50-50. Would you say that business are less ethical than before?
No, now
Yes.
it's more ethical.
More ethical or less?
Less.
Less. Who says less? 3 people. Who says more? 1, 2. Okay, more. Why do you say that?
Because before they have their way in everything, and they restructure everything themselves.
Say again.
Like for example, their business, they don't sell like food products, like good products. They sell like heroin and bad stuff.
Interesting. Okay, what else? You said
Yeah, no.
more ethical? Yeah.
Ethical because now they have rules. And
Now they have rules, and before there were no rules.
yeah,
So if there were no rules, they couldn't break them, so they were more ethical before.
and now it's easy to state something. I say 50-50.
You say they're more ethical because there are more rules.
Yeah. And that's ethical because it's easy to enter anything without license.
Okay, what about less people that say they're less ethical? Why do you say that?
Why they are less ethical? Wait, I don't know the definition of ethical.
Ethical.
I forgot the definition.
So they act according to what society thinks is right, more often than not.
Wait, why
They don't do bad things. They have integrity. They treat everybody with respect, and they follow the values of the society. like not employing children to produce goods, not polluting the rivers, and not taking advantage of people and all that stuff, and not cheating. But they do it more or less than before.
Oh, okay, that's a question. I don't know.
Okay, well, so you might feel that the businesses are becoming less ethical because there are more scandals. Okay. So here you have 3 reasons. Also, why there's more risk for businesses to become unethical. So remember, 300 years ago, life was very simple. The business, it was the bakery in your village, and he didn't have many chances to be unethical, right? Buy the flour, bake, sell, that's it. But now the bakery, have you seen the bakery? It's a factory. The flour comes from India. They don't check where it comes from. Did the Indian factory producer of flour use pesticides that are forbidden? And then you will get cancer because of that. But the business didn't check. So whose fault is it? Oh, very complicated, very fast. Yes?
I think it's rapidly increasing, that's why.
And that's called globalization. And so because of globalization, it's very difficult to check what's going on in your business, in your product. That's one thing. You're a buyer. No, this is not an abaya. Kandura? You can do the same. Where was it made? Do you know? No idea. Even where was it made? Your Kandura?
Germany.
Germany? And who made it? Was it made by a slavery child or something like that? Anyway, it's more complicated to know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? That's one trend. The other trend is this one. Can you read it?
The second one?
Yeah.
Organization challenge to maintain profit.
Yeah. What does it mean?
They challenge to get more profit from the no ethical.
Guys, what's up? Question?
We are fighting what is ethics real definition.
Oh, we had it before. This one.
Yeah, I know we have it, I saw it. It's a social convention for right and wrong.
Set of beliefs about what's right and wrong. Does it make sense?
Okay, yeah.
Beliefs.
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 Yeah.
Not truths. Beliefs. Yes? Okay. Here, second reason is that there's more pressure on companies to make profits. Before there was the bakery in the village, nobody told the baker, hey, next month, why don't you increase your profits 10%? How? I don't know, put less quality flour. I don't know, just do it. Yes.
Like the car, if you want the screen side, you pay more money.
Like the car, like Volkswagen, the cheating scandal. Are you familiar with that one? Yes? Can you explain to them what is it?
No.
Better in English. If you want to explain in Arabic, it's good. Go ahead. Are you familiar with Volkswagen cheating scandal?
إذا كان السؤال يعطيك رقم
Okay.
Are you familiar?
Yes.
There's a documentary on Netflix about it. So the problem with this one is companies are owned by investors, and investors want more profitability every year. So what they do, they put a CEO that promises that. And if the CEO doesn't get more profitability, fire. So you have a CEO and he knows he will get fired if he doesn't increase the profit. So what's the CEO going to do? Say, I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. Resign. Or some CEOs that have no ethics will cheat. And the more pressure you put, the more they cheat. Same thing with the GPA here, right? You have a lot of pressure to have a high GPA. The more pressure, the more students cheat. Does that make sense?
Because you want to ensure that you get some.
Because you have no option, like
Maybe
nothing
this
to
is
lose.
The last option.
Yeah, nothing to lose. Yeah, see you the same. I get fired or this. I will get also happy. Same, okay, I'll do it. Make sense?
Yeah.
So there's so much more pressure than before that there's many cases about that.
Hopefully this course is not so much worse. That it changes our way.
And the third reason is that you have a thing called the internet, and now you cannot hide things like before. And that make it appear that there's more scandals. Do you know any famous scandals from businesses?
I think the system's slower.
Very good, very good. That's called bad.
Very
Very good. That one is called Battery Gate, isn't it? Apple Battery Gate. Battery Gate. It's called Battery Gate. What else do you know? Anybody?
Also,
Nike, child labor. In the 90s, somebody discovered that Nike was making shoes in factories where child, but also they rape women, and they didn't give them masks, so they have problems.
Safety.
Lots of stuff. Yeah. What else? This one. Any other scandals you know? Anyone else? No, that's it. Volkswagen. There's a documentary called Dirty Money that explains how Volkswagen cheated, faking data that the cars were clean when in reality they were polluting a lot, and that was not allowed in America. So because of that, many people will die of cancer, lung cancer. So just to make some money, some people will die because they.
Ford, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
They have they put this expensive stuff.
Yeah. So there are many scandals going on. Nissan also had some problems, cheating on the quality test of the vehicle, in the airbag, killing people. It's always trying to save money because there's so much pressure. And if you don't achieve the results, you get fired. That's another problem.
Ford, they calculated how much they will get for like using on the car and how much to pay for the people who died from the car.
Some companies are horrible and they calculate, oh, we have this mistake, and every year 3 people will die because of this mistake. And we save 3 cents with this. It costs 3 cents to fix it, but we make 1 million cars. So 3 cents multiplied by 1 million car is $300,000, and the payout to every people that complain is $100,000. We're fine, which is horrible. But some companies do that. Great. Wonderful. Okay. So we'll stop here. But basically, the message in this slide is that being ethical in the business is good in the long term because they always will catch you. You may survive for 3 years. You may be the superstar employee or boss, but at the end, the truth will catch up, especially if you do really bad things. Because now you cannot hide anything with the internet.
Someone will discover it.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not worth it, even from a money perspective. Make sense? Great. So for the weekend, you have an assignment, and the assignment is to do a small presentation in the class. You will make groups of 4 or 5 people, and you will choose a corporate scandal that you like to explain to the class. For example, Nike, Batterygate, but we're in the class of ethics, professional responsibility in IT. So if it's related to IT, it's better. You can choose a few topics. I'm gonna send you a few now. For example, you could focus on privacy, for example. Maybe you're familiar with the Snowden case, the American spy. You can choose some technology company. You can choose some privacy data breach. You can choose the Facebook Cambridge Analytica scandal. Are you familiar with that? You familiar with that? Can you explain to the class what's that about?
كانوا في فيسبوك ناس شو اسمه في المحكمة في ناس ما يعرفون شيء عن فيسبوك ويتكلمون عنه بس I think I don't know how to explain it to people.
You can explain the Volkswagen emission scandal, which has a lot of IT because it was code. Any of those. Okay, so I'll give you now, you have 5 minutes left. You can have 5 minutes to make groups, and the next week, the next class, you'll have 20 minutes to finish your presentation, but basically, you can make a board and come here and explain it, or you can make a small PowerPoint presentation and explain it. But if you want to get a good grade, for example, last year, Batterygate, somebody made a board about Batterygate, and I asked them, title, Batterygate, great, right?
Yeah.
Very great presentation, nice board set. Why is it called Batterygate? And they told me, there's a gate somewhere. No. So make sure you know what you're talking about. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so you can start making groups now. Something you're passionate about. What do you like? Cars, food, fashion?
Can we do a
Fashion focus on child labor in factories.
Like, can we say they kill animals for skin?
Yeah, that's good. But let's focus on something with IT. But if you like that one, it's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, we must make presentation.
Oh, yeah. 5 minutes. Very short, but very good.
5 minutes from the whole group?
I need this.
Yeah.
5 slides.
Very good.
How much groups, how much
20 seconds per slide. 5 is fine. 4 is fine also. Ali M. Ali M. Who's Ali? Ali with a WhatsApp group. Is it you? No. Very good. Great topics. Yes.
وين؟ لا بعدها مو بحول السكشن.
كم طريقة؟
طريقة عمرهم ما يفتحون السكشن.
Yes. You have a car? My car is a Land Cruiser car.
Oh, that's nice.
With acceleration.
Are you want to drive with the sun?
No, I go with people.
When like
Next month.
too much.
Topics. Snowden. Nike. Nissan. VW. And so on. Oops, didn't work out.
كلنا كتبنا سلمى؟ كلنا كاتبين بس مو بعد
هذا شو كاتب تصحيح؟
Sir, I have like this paragraph. When we give it to you?
Yeah, bring it next day if you don't have it.
I have it in the iPad.
Send it to me with a Slack. Private message. Copy paste. Very good. Alright guys. Have a great weekend.
Doctor, the attendance.
No attendance today because it's the first week, so many people signing in still. So yeah, give it to me. Leave your homework here.
Oh, my homework is in Slack. Check it out. It's very good.
Okay, I'll check it out later. Very good.
I was thinking about Lawrence Fair taking the best lawyers to suit famous company, not fighting for poor people.
Okay,
It's a good subject.
that's a very good subject.
Thank you.
Very good. Awesome.
What, 25 slides? 20 seconds?
There's 100 slides in this PowerPoint.
No, I mean here. This one, we explained in 5 slides.
It should spend 20 seconds per slide. It's an app to make slides. So I'll send you a presentation how to make slides cool.
Oh.
Yes.
I have a question. Should we make?
Why do you put your mouth here?
I don't know. شو بدي يقول هارد يا اخي شو اسمه؟ زين هارد يوم تنقل من سلايد لسلايد وشي.
Should he make animations for?
I will send you the slides I like.
Okay.
It's an how to make slides.
Simple slide.
Awesome slides. Awesome presentation. That's what you should do. You should explain a story to the people. Like, imagine I don't know anything about night. Make a presentation about what happened.
Don't worry about slide.
You can make,
you
you can make theater, Greek comedy, I don't know.
In 5 minutes.
But what you cannot do is a boring
Just for
presentation.
5 minutes.
5 minutes maximum. It's a lot of time, 5 minutes.
Just members of a group. It can be 2, 3.
Yes, anything.
5,
you do.
6, 7,
8
8 Holy moly, that's
8.
right.
8 person.
3 groups only. Come on, يستوي. Check. Really, it's good.
Where are you? Side?
No. I send it in the whole group.
Can't see it. Oh, you said it in general?
Yeah.
Let's see. Presentation, you said?
Yeah.
Very good. Let's see. Well done.
No.
Let's see.
It's stupid.
Oh, let's see.
Oh.
Come on, Habibi. Oh, wait, I'll stop the presentation.
Exploded.
Hold on.